Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Manny B Investing, MBI. And we're going to take a look at MilkySwap and the feature of churning Creamy. So we've got a screenshot here from a tweet they posted March 31st. That's the churn page. And if you've used the testnet, you're familiar with this feature. We got to play around with it on testnet, but by now you should be on mainnet, and on the mainnet version of MilkySwap, it just says coming soon, and you can't really click or do anything with it. As a lot of you may notice, I see a lot of people in the Discord saying, hey, post a screenshot. Hey, the churn feature is not working. It's not working because it's not active. If you read on the screen, which I don't know, I don't get it. I don't know if these people are trolling or what. People just seem to just skip over reading. Like, there's words on the screen, read the words. It says coming soon. There's a link that says read more here. If you click on that link, it'll give you the details you need, so you don't have to go to the Discord and ask the same question, 50, 100, 1,000 times a day. So let's take a look. The churn feature, if you haven't checked it out on testnet, it's very simple. You put in a date, you put the amount of tokens or Milky that you want to churn or lock. Churn is just another term for locking. It's just a themed a name for it, which is pretty clever and neat. I like the whole theme of the entire protocol. But you lock the tokens, and then as you see in the balance for Creamy, it will give you the Creamy balance, and it'll give you the amount of Milky tokens that you have locked. So if we look here on the tweet itself, there are a bunch of people, and you see I posted a GIF there. 4 years joke. And again, like the same stuff, you can choose your own time to lock. But yeah, because it gives you can do max of 4 years, but if you do the max of 4 years, you get 1-to-1. You get 1 Creamy for every Milky you lock for 4 years. If you lock downward, there's a like it's a linear kind of a calculation. It'll give you less. So if you do 2 years, you'll get half. If you do 1 year, you'll get a quarter per Milky. So that's how it works. And this feature, when they mention it and talk about the feature, they say that it was derived from CurveDAO, because CurveDAO has a similar feature where you can lock their token and get a boosted token. So you lock your curve, you get the veCRV. And it's not 1-to-1. It doesn't match up exactly, but it's very similar in the way that it works, according to MilkySwap project. And a lot of people are asking that 4 years, people are just not into that. And that's fine. It's optional. You don't have to churn. You can just buy Milky. You can farm it. You can provide liquidity. You can just hold it and wait for price action. Those are your options. You can use the MilkySwap DEX to swap things on Milkomeda. You could just do that. You could just be a user. If you look at Uniswap, Uniswap is a decentralized exchange. People use it to swap one token to another. Projects provide liquidity so that their token can be swapped with other tokens. That's what the point of MilkySwap is. A lot of these early people are kind of confused because they believe that they're going to be a part of Uniswap. A majority of the people that go to they believe that they're going to be a part of MilkySwap. The majority of people that use Uniswap are just users of Uniswap. They might even necessarily hold Uniswap tokens. They may not be vested. They may not be providing liquidity. They may not be farming like myself. I use Uniswap a lot. I don't farm on Uniswap. I don't hold the Uniswap token. I don't provide liquidity on Uniswap. I don't governance vote on Uniswap. That is an early thing. People that got into it extremely early, they're more than likely to be a part of that community. And a lot of them cashed out and moved on with their life. That is an optional thing. You don't have to be a part of the ecosystem. You can still just use the platform. So I think that is probably the biggest misconception and the biggest challenge that I see in the community as far as the Discord goes. People are really confused, and they're all new. They don't understand, but hopefully these videos are going to help clear up the confusion with newer users. So that is my goal in these videos, is to educate myself, learn how these features work, give examples of me using them, results, that I get, and also educating and giving a lens into the community, because I know a lot of people don't want to be bothered with Discord or joining another channel. If I can just show you what's going on in there, then it's all good. You don't have to dive in. But airdrop number 3 is officially over with. If you're watching this, it is what it is. The people that qualified. So you can stop asking when is airdrop 3 over with. It's over. The only thing left now is airdrop 4. So because MilkySwap will still exist in 4 years. So, I mean, if you don't believe MilkySwap will exist in 4 years, then that's probably for you to move on. Like, just move on. If you don't think it's going to be here in 4 years, then I wouldn't buy the token. I wouldn't provide liquidity or do any kind of locking. I just wouldn't do it. That one was hidden. Yeah, their website did go down. They hit some kind of limit. Moon. Let's see if anybody's got any other good questions in here. Is this like staking? No, it's a locking. Guys, it's not locked. Yeah, it is locking. But okay, so we have this feature. It's a part of the airdrop 4. What's the point of Creamy? Let's take a look at the post. This is a post from the 31st. Creamy, future feature. If you have played around with our farming protocols these past few weeks, you may have noticed that the churning your Milky tokens gives you Creamy. We took a page from the Curve DAO's extremely successful veCRV locking system and created a governance token called Creamy. As a governance token, Creamy will be important to the sustainability of our DEX. Though its features won't be available day one, there will be plenty that you can expect as MilkySwap develops and matures. These features will include voting on which farms to add. I think that's a really important thing to be able to vote on. How the treasury is managed, extremely important. And the weights of boosted farms, also important. Creamy will also let you receive 0.05% of protocol fees on MilkySwap. Now that is what you want. So all the people crying about locking, they are single dimensional thinkers. All they think is free airdrop, sell airdrop, make money. Like, if that is your goal and that's the only way you think, you're going to wreck yourself. You might as well just sell it and just move on. So he provides an example here, or they. By churning your Milky tokens, you will receive Creamy tokens. In return, the amount of Creamy tokens you receive is equal to the amount of Milky you churn for 4 years. So that's the baseline 1-to-1 conversion. And also, I had questions. I asked them in the Discord. One, is the Creamy tradable? And I believe that it is technically not tradable because it dissolves over time. So it's a platform thing. So I asked if you could hold the Creamy in your wallet, or is it something that only exists in the platform? It shows up in the MetaMask, but you can't really, I don't know if you actually technically own it. So that's another thing that we're going to have to get clarity on. And I'm expecting that a technical detail of the Creamy token in the future. She buys 100 Milky on MilkySwap and churns them for 4 years for 100 Creamy. Millie decides to buy 50 Milky tokens on MilkySwap, but only locks them for 2 years. She gets 25 Creamy tokens. So it's based on the time that you lock it. Remember, 4 years is 1-to-1. So you don't have to lock it for 4 years. You can lock it for 2 years. You can lock it for 1 year. Honestly, you can probably lock for like a couple of months. So that's interesting. It's kind of cool. So say there's a proposal for something that you're interested in. You don't have to lock your tokens for 4 years to participate in that vote, but you will have to lock more tokens to get more Creamy. So for example, if you wanted 500, let's say you wanted 100 votes, you could lock 100 Milky for 4 years and get those 100 votes, but you'd have your Milky tokens locked for 4 years. But what you can do is you can lock way more Milky for 30 days and get, you know, an equivalent, well, not equivalent to 100, but you'll get, you know where I'm going. You can lock way more tokens for a shorter period of time in order to get the creamy that you want to make your vote. So yeah, the people that will lock their tokens for the 4 years, they will get more votes. They will get a bigger benefit in that right. So that's pretty interesting. I think it's pretty cool. And then there's boosted farm rewards. So they talk about if you hold creamy, then you'll get additional boosts in farming. If you're already farming, that's music to my ears. So you get fees, protocol fees, you get farming boost, and you get voting rights in DAO proposal. So that's pretty cool. But I wanted to look, or I have been looking at the Curve Finance because this is where it's derived from. So to kind of give me an idea or understanding, and also where my questions came from, was from me reading up on Curve Finance and how their locking and voting system works. So starting on the 19th of September 2020, you know, this was a few years ago they implemented this. 50% of all trading fees are distributed to veCRV holders. Now that's pretty freaking outstanding right there. They're not going that far. But maybe that's something that we could maybe, I don't know, vote on. Maybe they should up the distributed rewards going to creamy holders. This is a result of a community-led proposal to align incentives between liquidity providers and governance participants. So they voted on that. So maybe that's something that we can vote on. Collected fees will be used to buy 3 CRV LP tokens for the 3 pool and distribute them to veCRV holders. This currently represents over 15 million in trading fees per year. Yikes. That's a lot of money. And the people get distributed 50% of that? Wow. veCRV stands to vote escrowed Curve. They are Curve votes locked in the Curve DAO. You can also lock Curve to obtain a boost on your provided liquidity. So what they do is they boost the token, or you can lock the token for your boost. But in MilkySwap's case, you lock the token for creamy, and then creamy is your boost. So I guess in a way it's the same thing. There's just an additional step or additional thing that you have to do. Boosting your CRV reward. So this guide is assuming you already provide liquidity and that you're currently staking your LP tokens on the DAO gauge. One of the main incentives for Curve is the ability to boost your rewards for providing liquidity. Vote locking Curve allows you to acquire voting power to participate in the DAO and earn a boost of up to 2.5x on the liquidity you are providing on Curve. Interesting. So they have a video on that. How to stake, locking your Curve. So they have like instructions on how to lock in their platform. And it looks like they do 1 week, 1 month, 6 months, 1 year, 4 years. Looks like MilkySwap allows you to pick more options. They just have 1 week, 1 month. I mean, I guess that makes it easier on people. So you're not playing around with a calendar. I don't know. Maybe, I don't know which way is better. Honestly, it doesn't matter to me, but I feel like with all of the noobs that we have, maybe a predetermined amount, maybe if they had normal mode and then an advanced mode that then allowed you to use a calendar might be a good idea. So maybe we'll talk about that or ask them about that. Claiming your trading fees. So they have tutorials and videos on how all of this works, but let's take a look at this video and see how good it is and how clear it is. Let me turn up the volume a little bit. Their platform works a lot different than the MilkySwap platform. It's like really old school 1990s computer tech. It just looks really dated.
CRV state,
but that's just a part of their aesthetic. That's what they wanted.
a community-led proposal that decided that the protocol fees should be shared between the liquidity providers and the people who lock CRV. Once you click on Use CRV, you're going to find a few things to help you get started. First thing to understand is that one CRV is not the same as one veCRV. The number of veCRV you get depends on how long you lock CRV for. So if you lock CRV for 4 years, one CRV is going to be equal to one veCRV. And if you just lock one CRV for a year, then it's going to be equal to 0.25 veCRV.
Okay, so that's
On
pretty
this
much
page,
the same.
You can see the returns
formula
that you can get by staking CRV. So today it's about 160%. It depends on how much volume the protocol is doing. And of course, it also depends on the price of CRV. Once you're ready to stake some CRV, you can click on the Stake CRV button. It's going to take you to the Curve Locker. It's the place where you can manage your CRV lock, extend it or add to it. It also shows you the total voting power, and you can see there that
so the purpose of showing you this is so that we see how closely they mirror this technology that they're borrowing from.
Available to you. We are going to choose to lock the maximum available, and if you click on the buttons, you can see that the amount of VCRV you get.
Okay, that's cool.
Once you're ready to lock, you can click on the infinite approval if you want to, and then you can proceed to create your lock. After a couple of seconds, you're going to get a confirmation box. You need to make sure the date is right because you will not be able to take your CRV out before that.
That's very important. It is locked in a contract. You're not getting it back.
Get 2 transactions to confirm. So you can go ahead and confirm those 2 transactions. There's the second one. As you can see, gas is quite expensive right now.
Yikes.
But let's confirm anyways. And our transaction is now pending. My transaction has now confirmed, and you can see I have about 1500 CRV locked. And you can see they're locked until September 2024, which is 4 years from today. So now we can go and check out how much fees we're going to be getting every day.
About halfway through.
Go to the top and go back to Curve.
So they have a calculator for the fees.
CRV again. And on that page, you can see how much fees you'll be getting based on today's volume and price. Now that you have lots.
So can I show this without this popping up? Okay. Yearly, so 162.76% yearly fees earned per one curve. $1.56, and that's for today. That's a daily. So $6.52, and your yearly is 2,379. Your daily wow, the daily earnings for that. I bet Curve makes way more than that today. I bet it's way more than that today. So you're locking. I mean, this is the potential. This is why this is such a great opportunity, but not financial advice. MilkySwap could fail. It could die. It could get hacked. A number of things can happen, but it could succeed. And if it does, being in the ground floor like this, being vested in it like this is it's going to be pretty insane if it does play to the positive. So that's just an example of like what the Creamy token is about and like where it's derived from. It's derived from the Curve DAO. It's almost going to be pretty much the same, but I do want to get more details on like how the Creamy token is handled. How is it, what the contract is, like, is that contract audited? All those technical details that make me feel a lot better and allows me to make a good choice when it comes to investing in these crypto markets and in DeFi. So thank you for checking out the channel. Hit that like, hit that share, and stay tuned. We've got a playlist for MilkySwap. Make sure you check that out in the description. And we'll see you on the next one. Peace.